It is repetition which makes for perfection.
So when I look at the head, I see a giant eyeball. It's the shape of an eyeball. Or an eye. Sorry, an eyeball's a sphere. Little neck. And then pretty much like a figure with wide shoulders, but a humanoid figure for the most part. Okay. Okay. Now, where it gets exaggerated, and people might start losing the figure because of the silhouette. He's got a backpack, and that backpack's pretty large. And it basically makes his shoulders look massive. And then you have the tubes that kind of come out like that. And then the eyes, and then the eyeballs themselves look like eyeballs. Coin hero power. I can draw slower if you want. Hold on, watch. That's my serious look. That's pretty much it, right? I think there's some lines here, lines there. Oh, he did have the knife. Kind of want to put that knife in there. So let's just pop in this. And actually, this curves more like that. I should draw him and have him like hold $1 billion. $1 billion. I used to really use a 0.2. My first love was a 5. Then I went to a 3, and then a 2. I got disenchanted with the 2s, moved to this 4, which gives you a thick line, but if you move it fast enough, it starts looking like a 0.3. I'm just rambling at this point. You guys are like, what is he talking about? I found that it helps to whistle while you draw. Now, what I'm envisioning in my head is a lot of dry brush. I'm going to do something that looks a little more battle tested in terms of texture. In the movie, he had a very kind of smooth, yet matte kind of coating. You know, like those cars that have sort of that shiny but kind of flat appearance. And I'm going to do something that have a lot more scratch on it. It's a technical art term that we like to use internally. You know, best way of making your hand stop from hurting. You can soak it in hot water and cold water, alternating, but that's only temporary relief. For real relief, you have to stop drawing. But don't stop drawing, because you'll find that if you draw a lot of 10-hour days, your body gets used to it and it will stop hurting. But if you stop 10-hour days, like I would fear having to sit down and draw for 10 hours. I'm just not physically in shape. It would be very painful. I've heard that Adam Warren is doing warm-up drawings and cool-down sketches. He's like a racehorse or a racing car. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I don't do that, but everyone works differently. I would just say you do you, as the kids like to say. Watch the streams, listen to people's experiences, but then you're going to have a very different reaction or approach to everything in life. Always recognize that. That you must always recognize. I don't know what I just did there. Sorry. That's the problem with these live sequences. Unlike Victor, he can edit all that out. It's like people don't want to see this, Jim. They don't want to hear that. Don Knott says Yoda. Nice intergenerational reference that loses at least half the audience. Don Knotts was the master, wasn't he? What a guy. It would have been kind of cool to have met him. Big Don Knotts fan. Andy Griffith Show. Mayberry. I enjoy the crazy stuff you say. I don't think it's crazy. Do I move my cursor around? Pick up objects off the ground. Try to shoot my foe in the back. Try to hit them with my Mac 10. There's no Mac 10. Anyway, stop. I guess I do play a lot. I try to play. Well, I'm just horrible at the game. Just awful. That's why I play it. If I was good at it, I would stop. And that is the truth. I have tried the snow map. It's pretty good. I like to drop into castle a lot. That's a lot of fun. I know this is going to be mostly black, so I can kind of just get very loose with the shapes. If you notice, I closed my eyes while I was drawing that sword, and I was feeling the shape of the sword, and I screwed it up rather than trying to draw it. I was trying to focus on trying to draw something that felt symmetrical versus looked symmetrical, because if you try to draw it looking symmetrical, sometimes it falls apart. Light source is underneath. How often do I start over? I will start over. I just put the piece of paper away and grab another piece of paper. Although I will also erase the heck out of something that I've drawn over and over again. No one sees all the work that led up to the final drawing. They only see and experience the final drawing, unless you're streaming it, of course. So there's no shame in erasing. It's no big deal. It's just funny, like when I've drawn live in stream, people are like, oh my gosh, he erases so much. I'm like, what does that matter? Like, isn't the whole point to get something that you are happy with? And for me to get happy with it, I'm going to sort of experiment and try to see all the different versions of this idea that I have in my head, and improve upon it, express it, all that good stuff. I didn't know that something like that existed. That's very cool. All right. Turn the page to play to your strengths. Know where your best lines come from, what angle they kind of exit your hand, and lean into that. You'll find that there's ergonomics to what you do. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounded kind of smart. I'm going to stand by it. Victor, please make a clip. Jim Lee explains how to draw ergonomically. Stat. I don't like the bleed effect. I do not like it. And by bleed effect, I mean, when you run it over one marker, it's not laying down a flat value. Some people are great at it. I'm not knocking the people that use it. I personally am not a fan. I've tried it. Forgot the rest of this tube. My kids ask for them, like those bricks with like 200 markers or something that cost like $400 or something like that. I'm like, good luck making money from that. I don't know, man. I was raised with such middle class attitudes. My parents got on me for leaving the light switch on the bedroom, so I can't help it. But every time I see like a light switch on, I have to go in. No one's in there. We got to turn it off. Why'd you leave the light switch on? Even with paper, I can't throw away blank paper. Like even when I did this thing, I'm like, oh, I just drew it. I did it on 9 by 12 paper. I kind of blew a sheet. That sheet probably costs 50 cents. I'm a professional artist. I should be going through paper like crazy. It should mean nothing. It's like tennis players. Pro tennis players have like 20 rackets, or a bass player in a guitar in a band, a pro band. They've got like 15 guitars on stage. Smash them on the ground. Here I am worried about, oh, I'm going to save this piece of paper for later. It might be my Mona Lisa. Oh my gosh. Sad. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to liberate myself from the conditioning my parents have instilled in me. It's a race between that and the end of my life. I feel like it's going to be an ongoing thing that I'll do forever. It's good to have goals. All right. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a very good New Year's, end of the year. We got through that time together. It's always one of the more stressful times of the year. And nice, of course. It's always good. So, have the charges come back yet? So, it would cast a much bigger shadow. So, let's go broader with that shadow. Get it in there. So, I'm going to do a check. Look at that eye, look at that eye. I noticed looking this way, they looked off. I'm looking this way, they look even more off. They're not the same. So in this case, you look for the one that's smaller, and that's the one you're going to work towards. So let's see what happened if I do this. Okay. Then given where that is, that should be over here. So this is too much. Now, if this were pencil, see, if this was like something that was going to get published, I would do this all in pencil, right? So I kind of inked in pencil. All right, yeah, that's what I meant to say. All right, just working off the. Look what this is. So I gotta basically put this up here. This is right here. This is the midpoint, so it's really gotta go here. Although if the head's slightly turned, it doesn't have to be as symmetrical as I'm making it, but I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. If I do this all upside down, I flip it over and it looks wrong, then I've royally screwed up. As we approach the end, a couple things we like to do. We have the mod appreciation hour where we want to thank all our lovely mods, starting with Kirihiko and Ren Elephant and Crispy Egg Roll. These are the people that sacrifice their precious free time as good as it can be, and they have created and worked the Discord channel. If you guys don't know what the Discord channel is, but it's something that basically sits adjacent to this stream that people can communicate and get information and share their love of comics and pop culture, movies, games, whatnot, with one another. So please check that out. But they work on that in between the streams. They organize the giveaways. They provide the infrastructure so I can kind of just focus on the content. Probably debatable if I should spend more time focus on the content, but they afford me that opportunity. So thank you very much to Kirihiko, Crispy Egg Roll, Ren Elephant for your dedication. Thank all the people that tuned in, even though there's some exciting football games where the Chargers are about to perform the greatest comeback of all time. There we go. And afterwards, we usually go raid someone else to kind of show our appreciation for the arts and other people that give up their free time to share their creativity with others on this platform. So Kate's going to load something up. So if you guys have even just 5 minutes to spare afterwards, it's always good to kind of go in and say hi to people. Usually they're younger people that are trying to kind of make their mark in the world. And I'm sure it's really appreciated when you guys come in and provide them your general enthusiasm and good cheer. And so we'll be doing that afterwards, so you can guys join me in that. I usually go and hang out for a bit as well. And the next stream will be next weekend. And so I think there will be streams the next 2 weekends. Like I said, there's still going to be a mid-stream, like usually in the evening, of a cover I need to do. I just need to organize when that's going to happen internally at DC. It's a DC kind of thing. So look for that in Discord. You'll see an announcement. But it'll be in the evening, which will be easier, I think, for some of our overseas people that tune in. Okay. All right. I'm just going to finish this up. We're going to give this away. We're going to give the foot thing away. The foot thing will be for everyone. This is a sub 10. If you're new to the stream, that's all going to sound like weird jargon and not make any sense. But if you hang out, a few times, you'll get the hang of it. People are very helpful in stream. And it's not as complicated as it sounds. Okay. He looks like an owl with these things here. Okay. If I did it well, it would be better. Let's see if I can do this here. Create some textures up here. Maybe not. Let's see if I can do that better. Or not. Okay. Queen City Amusements. Thank you for the bits. All right. Okay, we're going to do the giveaway. Usually I use plastic, but the paper on this was giving me a little bit of a different bounce and smaller dots. So I was kind of digging it. Okay. There we go. Another stream down. All right.